Nielsen during how they do the fake freeze frame on police thingy. Yeah, here we go.
It's on!
It's on!
Hello, everyone. Mac, what do you got there? Is that a Disneyland shirt?
It's actually a Potato Land shirt.
Oh, even better. So good.
Didn't see that one coming.
Where's it going?
Okay,
It starts.
Yes, it'd be good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Disney Parks Talk Live for January 11th, 2021, our second show of the new year, the show in which we discuss, is that your mic making all that noise, Jeremiah?
Yeah, probably.
The show in which we discuss the week in Disney Park news, which was a relatively slow week until just today. So we've got plenty to talk about, thankfully. Joining me as usual, my name is Doobie Mosley, co-host of Laughing Place. To my left is my lovely, talented, beautiful wife, Rebecca.
Hey.
Down there, joining us for the first time, because it is a requirement that we always have a mic in this show. Mike Mac, how you doing, Mac?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. We call him Mac because the other Mike is Mike, and we can't have two people with the same name, so we have Mike and we have Mac. And then over there, Vice President of changing shirts in the middle of shows is Jeremiah Good. How's it going, Jeremiah?
Good. How about you, Doobie?
Good. So once again, we are doing Disney Parks Talk Live. If you're watching us live or on tape, do us a favor, click thumbs up, let the world know you like us. Make sure you subscribe to this stream, however you're watching us, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Twitch. And if you're on YouTube in particular, make sure you ring the bell. That way you get notified every time we go live, and we do it a lot. For example, tomorrow, 11 o'clock, we're going to be live from a park, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, we are going to start Disney Parks Talk Live with our first big topic dropping just today, the horrible, terrible, no good, very bad news that Magical Express is no more in 12 months. Jeremiah, as head of Walt Disney World, I'm going to let Mac take this one. Mac, go for it.
I've only experienced the Magical Express once. That was a long time ago, too, so I barely even remember the experience. But it does ruin one of my favorite Walt Disney World related jokes, and that is the Tragical Express taking us back to the airport. Yeah. So that's unfortunate.
Yes.
Maybe now we'll call it the Truber or the Trift.
But I have to say this news did not in any way, shape, or form surprise me particularly, especially given the 2022 date on it, because that's when the anticipated railway station, this train connection from the airport to the Disney Springs area is anticipated. So between that and Uber, I'm not that surprised that we're seeing the announcement that Magical Express will fade away. I think we've only used it twice.
I can actually remember using it from the airport one time, and then I've used Disney Transportation to the cruise line before, but that's a whole different thing. Just to reiterate the basic news, so Magical Express will be going away starting January of next year. It will be continuing for the rest of this year. So if you have your 2021 trip booked and you're planning on Magical Express, fret not, you're good. But starting next year, you got to figure out your own way to get to the hotel. Given ride shares and Ubers and Mears and cabs, you'll probably be okay. But
I think
Hitchhiking Ghost.
Maya's going to start providing too, right?
Yes, that'll be the next Laughing Place expansion. It's the Jeremiah LP trip.
Laughing Place in the car.
Laughing Place has nothing to announce at this time regarding our future plan. So
it'll be the drive and talk time.
The cool thing about Magical Express was not only that it was Disney from the time you got to the airport, which was cool, but you didn't touch your bags. That was an actual perk that I can't imagine how they're going to make that work going forward with the train or whatever. You put your bags you give your bags at your home airport, and you see them again at your hotel. that was the coolest part of Magical Express. And reverse, going back, drop them off at your Pop Century and see them again when you get back to your home airport. So, if for nothing else, I missed Magical Express for that reason.
Yeah,
I can tell you. Go ahead, Rebecca.
No, go ahead, Jeremiah.
As somebody who has done a train from an airport to a park with luggage, it is not a fun thing to try to do. Like to get to the train, load it on, and make sure you get it when you're getting off with the thousands of other families trying to do it. It's a challenge.
And Mike knows as well. See, Laughing Place, it would be a clown car.
That's what our service will be
that
called.
would be us. Laughing Place, the clown car. But why do you assume that this means the end of magical baggage? Sorry, I'll move that.
Why would it not? I mean, who's going to transport? Okay, fair point. It does not have. In fact, you can actually check your bags in going home.
Yeah.
But not the reverse right now.
Right.
The reverse, there's no way.
And I don't know with COVID what's going on either, by the way. But
so you're right. There's no reason you can't still
know.
check your bags in at your hotel going home. That's just a matter of having a bag check at your hotel. But the reverse would seem much more complicated for them to, without having that Central Magical Express thing, to still deal with getting your bags and get them to your hotel. Maybe not. I hope not.
No, I just see it kind of being, but whatever. We'll find out in time next year. 2021.
So, but
and as Jeffrey points out, magical baggage isn't even happening right now because of COVID.
Okay, but that's a temporary thing. We can't be making rules for the rest of all time based on what's going on right now. Okay, I'm sick of this. Oh, it's not even. I hear that so often. Things will return at some point. All right. Because I've been watching Stephen A. Smith this morning, and quite frankly, I'm sick of holding my tongue.
Because if we go off of those rules, that means Disneyland's never opening. We're not going to have, we're going to have plexiglass in between every single seat on ride soon.
We just
finished Stephen A. So he's in a Stephen A.
It is a pleasure to have someone on the show for whom I can say Stephen A. Smith, and they know who I'm talking about. Right, Mac?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, can you go ahead? I'm going to request that you watch Stephen A. Smith right before every Disney Trivia Live from now on. Add another layer to it.
Quite frankly, I just might do that. All right. So that announcement of Magical Express, which, as could be expected, I don't think the fans are too happy about that, because it's free, frankly, too. I mean, not that getting a lift or something is a huge deal, but, nothing beats free. So, I'm sorry. It's not
and
free.
Watching the video as you're going, like, as somebody who used to travel out here quite often and take the Magical Express, I love getting on the bus, watching the video, getting excited as soon as you go through the entrance area, like it kicks into the, hey, you're almost to your hotel and you get to see Donald and all the characters. And then going home always sucked.
Uber does not give you that experience.
But, okay, first of all, Uber could give you that experience if you have a particularly delightful and upcharge, kind of a go-to Uber person. And why can this not be? Why can there not be like an upcharge type thing, or maybe even just included type thing that's, the magical car? And so if you want that video or whatever playing, maybe part of the train can be dedicated to that experience.
I think they have a whole bunch of themed vans that need repurposing at this point.
Yeah, there's that too.
First they got rid of the minivan, and now they're giving it Magical Express. I think monorails, buses, Skyliner. They come from my Skyliner.
Oh, dude, you were just so pure.
They did make a point.
Chain himself.
They did make a point of saying the buses, the monorail, the Skyliner all remain. This was all put out in a Disney Parks blog post this morning, where the headline was not "We're getting rid of Magical Express." It was just kind of in there somewhere, along with the news that extra magic hours are not returning. However, Jeremiah, what is returning or coming for the first time?
Well, it's funny because to me, extra magic hours was a Disney thing that didn't really come about until I want to say after 2000. And I always called it early entry, which is what they're going back to. And at this point, sometime in the not too distant future, all 4 parks will open to hotel guests a half hour early, which is kind of what early entry used to be when it was an hour, and then they called it extra magic hours when they expanded it to the night and morning. So I think instead of what they've been doing, where it's the park opens a half hour before the announced time, and guests that get there early can do it. Now there'll just be hotel guests that get there a half hour before the park opens, which is fine. I'm great with that.
It confused me when they were so adamant this is not extra magic hours, when true, it's not an hour, but it's better. It's all 4 parks every day. I mean, it's better to me. I don't see why they're so adamant and not. So anyway.
Yeah, and it's also, like I said, extra magic hours hit the point where it's like, there'd be 3 attractions open, and you had to know exactly what attractions and which days. And I can remember trying to plan vacations around extra magic hours where, okay, I do the morning of this and the evening and that. Having a half hour for each of the parks is a great thing.
I agree.
And thank you, Mike, for letting me know what extra magic hours were.
Oh yeah, we sometimes we talk here. We should talk here.
Yeah, but
but that's where we have people out there.
Exactly,
Thanks,
that's where we
Mike.
have people in the chat.
So a half hour. Choose your park, but it has to be the park that you already have a park reservation to right now. Correct, Jeremiah Mack? That's the way it's working. So you can't just say, "Hey, I'm going to go to hang out at Epcot this morning."
Half an hour at Epcot before my reservation. No.
You have to have your reservation. You have to go to that park, but all 4 parks have it each day, which is kind of nifty. So that was the other big announcement this morning. And then there was some sad news from the world of Disney earlier in the week. Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, which was born, I believe, about a decade ago, maybe about 15 years, is passing away in about 13 days.
Did you guys participate in that? Mac, I'll ask you first. Did you do the Sorcerer's Experience?
I've only tried it once, and that was because I was at a Mickey's Very Merry where they were giving out a special card, which is still sitting in my wallet for the past 3 or 4 years now.
That'll come in handy when we play our new game. Who has a sorcerer's card on them? And then you'll pull it out and you win. How about you, Jeremiah? Were you a big fan of this thing?
I was lucky enough, and I want to say it was 10 years ago almost exactly, because I was looking not too long ago in my time hop, and I was at Walt Disney World when they were doing the testing for it. One of my friends was a cast member, and I was able to actually participate in the test. And it was a fun game then, and I enjoyed doing it off and on throughout the years. But once you get to the second level where you actually have to pay attention to spells, it's way too deep for me. I played it and they're like, okay, you can't beat this character unless you pay attention to the background. And no, it's Gideon probably would be great at it now, but it's not for us old people.
You liked it quite a bit, right, Rebecca?
I enjoyed
as an
it.
Old person.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it at the time, but then I got immersed in the data pad fun of Galaxy's Edge, and I kind of wondered about its future, because it was just nice with the data pad. Well, actually, with just the whole Play app in general. I don't have to remember to bring my cards, and I don't have to, I can engage in it for a little while and then disengage without it, kind of being any additional effort on my part. And so, I would anticipate that, we're just seeing more and more kind of Play app experiences will come to fruition here and there. My only challenge with those is I wish they were a little bit less restrictive in their accessibility sometimes, the Play apps, because sometimes there's a couple of them where they aren't necessarily location-based as far as the experience itself, but they are location-based as far as the access. And sometimes I would like to be adjacent to the attraction rather than directly and still have access. Just if it was just a little bit bigger zone that they gave me access to it. But
well, during all of this, a lot of the games have transferred into the home version. Mm-hmm. So I think some of the Toy Story Mania stuff you can play at home, which I should really go do, because that game, you're never in the queue long enough to even get through one level of that game.
I've played a couple of them. I've been really enjoying the Play apps trivia contest that they've been tossing out regularly. They've got some decent variety of challenge levels within their trivia contest that they have there.
I forgot to mention, Jeremiah, congratulations on getting out of jail.
Thank you. No, it's just the sanitarium.
Yeah, that's right.
Gotham
Wow.
Asylum or whatever.
It was very, no, that was a very stark background that he had last time that led a lot of people to ask if he'd been locked up somewhere. Okay, next up.
Well, no, I'm not done with
The sanitarium?
Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
So I'm usually pretty calm. I don't rant, but Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom bothered me a lot. If I don't like a ride, I don't go on the ride. No big whoop. Doesn't bother me. Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, which I did not play because I don't go to the park to interact. Fine if other people do. But I couldn't just walk down Main Street anymore without seeing an animated window or hearing a barrage of sound that has no place on Main Street. So I feel for all you Sorcerers fans, but as far as I'm concerned, this is what we call in the business addition by subtraction. Next subject. Festival of the Arts at Epcot. Jeremiah, you've had the opportunity to really explore it. Numerous articles. Where do you want to begin?
Let's begin at the beginning. And when we get to the end, we'll stop.
Sure. You're trying to say jerk?
Jolie's.
Jolie's.
That sounds good.
Yes, the Taste of Epcot International Festival of the Arts started this past weekend. I've enjoyed. This is the 5th anniversary, and surprisingly, for the State of the World this year, actually, it's one of my favorites because it seems like they kind of moved in the past 2 years. They moved more towards the normal food booth and that kind of stuff. Where this year they kind of refocused back on the arts and keeping the social distancing. They kept the booth a little bit more distant.
Don't encourage him, Gio. Okay, go ahead.
So for those uninitiated, it's pretty obvious what Food and Wine is. It's pretty obvious what Flower and Garden is. What is Festival of the Arts?
Festival of the Arts started as a space filler in between the marathon weekends and Flower and Garden Festival.
Clearly, you're not reading the press release here.
Well, to be honest, I mean, going back to the year it started, it was kind of put together almost, it seemed like within a few months. Like, I think the announcement happened late November for the start of the January, and it turned into be one of my favorite. It is my favorite festival. They focus on a lot of the Disney arts, also some of the outside artists they bring in. Greg McCullough, who's a Disney World staple, and Larry Dotson. They're always there, but instead of having them in a shop in Disney Studios, or I'm sorry, Disney Springs, they put them around the World Showcase Promenade. And then they have fun interactive things like the paint by numbers, the chalk characters, the chalk paintings. There's just so much to do. And one of the things that there's the paint by numbers. Sorry, I'm looking at. So the paint by numbers wall, guests line up. They are assigned a certain number. They've got it set up for social distancing, which is nice. And they have it in case social distancing has to go away by the time that the Festival of the Arts ends. They can just take down those stations and can paint wherever they like. But they'll give you a paintbrush and the proper paint. Say, okay, you're number 6. So you go over and you paint the number 6s. And when you're finished, that's what the mural will look like. But you're also given that nice bookmark as a gift when you're walking away.
Is this what
so?
You're
In
painting?
other words, yes.
Which part did you do so I can check it out when I go?
The mural actually completed. The first mural completed yesterday.
Oh, and then they just rip it down and do another one and repeat?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
In past years, they were actually doing multiple murals throughout the festival. I don't know if they are doing it, but that bookmark, they look like they had a few tons of them. So they were taking them off and putting them on other progress walls, as Tony likes to call them, not construction walls.
They have chalk painting. They have painting the walls. Is there any food involved at this festival?
There is plenty of food. Mac, have you gone yet? Have you?
I haven't gone this year, but surprisingly, Festival of the Arts for us always it's our favorite food options out of all the festivals. I don't know how that ends up being the case, but they always have something really good.
Yeah,
That's
the
really
one
fun.
thing I got to on the opening day, I got to try the passion fruit mousse, which is beautiful. I don't know if the picture actually made it in there, but there are some other pictures.
Is that it? It looks like it's in. It's passion fruity.
No, hang on. Let me see if I can get my passion fruit mousse up.
Okay.
Can I ask kind of a historical question? Back 2 decades ago, Downtown Disney would host the Festival of the Masters, and it would be this art, and it would be art, food from the Downtown Disney eateries, and then also like a jazz festival at the time too. This is kind of an evolution of that, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
It exactly is.
I guess what I'm asking is they don't have an event like that at Downtown Disney, at Disney Springs per se, right? So
I believe it was 1 year to the next, right? It was Disney Springs or Downtown Disney 1 year, and then the next year they moved it to Epcot, correct?
Well, no, there was I think 2 years in between.
Okay. The Festival of the Masters was there for about 25 years.
Yeah, that's like a throwback. Okay, so then they dumped Festival of the Masters for a couple years, and then they brought Festival of the Arts to Epcot, you're saying, Jeremy?
Yeah, Festival of the Masters closed mostly because of the construction of Disney Springs, the transformation. This is the passion fruit mousse at the Vibrant in, I can't remember what the second word is.
Did you take this picture, Jeremiah?
That's lovely.
I did take that picture.
Dude, we could hire you.
There's some nice. The food looks beautiful too, but I am particularly. Can
I stop you there?
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
They make a point of the food being artsy, right? That's a thing about the Festival of the Arts, that the food looks beautiful. That's all.
Yeah, it's all really good.
Yeah, got Pop-Tarts over here. Here, I'm gonna show this real quick. I thought. But I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, we have to add it to the stream.
Because But like, look at the cake. It looks colorful, and the Pop-Tart and this little fuzzy stuff up here, and it says Pop Eats. No, I can see why you like it.
Yeah, the top corner is the grilled cheese with tomato soup, which they actually call tomato soup, and the grilled cheese is in small print, because the Pop Eats can actually has the tomato soup in it as a souvenir. But as I found out yesterday, the souvenir is usually only available for like the first few people that buy it, because when I made it over there about noon, they're like, nope, we're only selling a few each day.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but so it's
so you can invest in if that's important for you to get, then you would invest in getting there early in the day. Oh, that makes sense.
You know what might make sense is to go there maybe a half hour before the park opens, and then head on over.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So based on past visits, Mac, is there anything in particular you're looking forward to eating again?
So I can't remember the menu off the top of my head, but whatever they have at the Mexico booth for every festival is always my favorite.
It's the chocolate. There was like chocolate something or other when I walked by there. And it is definitely that line and the Pop Eats line yesterday were wrapping around each other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oof.
So here you go, Mac.
So you have a fried poblano pepper filled with flank steak, black beans, and tomatoes drizzled with a poblano cream sauce. But what you're seeing here, obviously, is the pork belly pastor, which is pastor marinated pork belly atop boniato. I'll go with boniato puree with charred pineapple and crispy cilantro. So see, I wouldn't be eating that because I don't like cilantro, and I don't eat pork, but I really don't like cilantro.
Nobody likes cilantro.
The taco de chocolate. Here, scroll up. It's a chocolate candy shell with Mexican chocolate mousse with a touch of chile, topped with tropical fruit. Oh, see, so it's gonna move down. So it's gonna have a little bit of heat, and then you're gonna have the fruit. Oh, yeah, that's a nice hit. All sorts of areas of the palate.
So Mac, tomorrow is Tuesday. I recommend you head on over to Epcot and get your taco.
That is actually my plan, is to head over there tomorrow. So
you're right.
I will probably get one of everything from that booth.
I want to see it on the gram, on the bird.
Do you partake in the libations as well? The Diego pomegranate margarita is sounding good to me.
Margarita is my wife's game, but yeah, some of the other drinks on the menus, yeah, definitely.
That is sounding good. It has pomegranate, prickly pear juice, blackcurrant liqueur, and a rosé petal liqueur, along with hibiscus salt rim. I am all over that. I am sad I live on the other coast. Okay.
I'm very sad now. I want to go here.
That
this sounds
really
better
good.
than Food and Wine.
This sounds
It
really
is.
Yeah.
And in the past years, when they've had the Broadway concert series,
Mhm.
that has been the highlight of it. This year, because of everything, they brought back the Voices of Liberty, and they're doing the Disney Songbook, which is stupendous.
And I am really, really excited about the character art that's popping up all around Epcot as well. And
The chalk of characters.
yeah. It's and you and Doobie and Gideon are going to be exploring this on the channel tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah, we'll be looking at that, but we'll also be doing the brush with Figment. I know it's Figment based, Doobie, but it's still fun.
But see, so they've got chalk artists who went around the Epcot and have added
The chalk with characters is these stickers they've added throughout the years.
Sorry, chalk artists.
Oh, look at the little snowman.
It's Disney storytelling.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So yeah.
Oh, so it makes it look like it's real. That's cool. I love that kind of art.
Yeah, no, it looks really, really cool and exciting.
I want to go to Florida.
So yeah.
Do they still have the normal chalk art that they usually do as well? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, along the bridge where they had the lights and the doves at one time, Doobie. Now they have chalk artists, some of which are still chalk artists that were from the Festival of the Masters, doing different chalk art daily. So it's something fun to just sit and watch.
This chalk art on the walls and such, they've done that every year?
Yes. No, they started that. This is the third year.
I am in love with this. This is everything that Virtual Magic Kingdom is not.
Random thing to throw out there.
No, because they've taken. No. They've taken something existing and they've put something on top of it. But in this case, they've made it better.
What does VMK have to do with any of that?
Because in VMK, they took something, they put something on top of it.
Are you talking about sorcerers?
Why did I say VMK?
Yeah,
sorcerers.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That makes a lot more sense.
I'm fine with VMK. No, I'm sorry. My mistake.
No, it's sorcerers. He has a thing about sorcerers. It's
Marie,
very sad.
Baguettes. I love this. I'm glad we have these pictures on our website. And then you said our musical option this year, Jeremiah, is the Voices.
They have the Mariachi Cobre performing. Well, in the American stage, they have Art of Animation in the morning, and then starting at 2:30, they have Mariachi Cobre and Voices of Liberty alternating. And that's the Voice of Liberty.
Very nice.
And you're a huge fan of the Voices, of course.
And they're singing songs from the Disney Songbook, which we don't tend to get to hear very much of from them, as I recall, right? They mostly tend to stick with kind of Americana historical stuff.
Yeah,
so
they've thrown in a couple of Disney songs in the past few years, but this is all Disney. We have the video up on our YouTube channel. It's worth, if you're not going to make it out there, definitely taking a look at it.
And then finally, for the artist, maybe we should have brought Tony on for this part. What is the Vibrante and Vivido?
That's the food booth where I bought the passion fruit mousse.
It's a kiosk.
It's just a food booth because they're celebrating someone here.
It's celebrating the art of Mary Blair, and so they have the artistry and the biography on display, and then the food at this booth kind of reflects that. I
just wanted to get Mary Blair in there. That they created this section dedicated to the famed artist Mary Blair, who created this kind of artwork that a lot of people love. It's worthy of mention. You might recognize it from the interior of the Contemporary or the walls in Disneyland's Tomorrowland at one time. So that's all.
Okay.
A lot of Mary Blair fans. She's got some art, some flair. Mary Blair.
Very nice. Yes.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Doobie's a poet, and you didn't even know it.
Actually, they wrote a book called The Art and Flair of Mary Blair. I just copied. So,
way to fess up.
I know. The only rhymes I know are from Hamilton. So Disney World right now, we don't usually mention stuff like this, but I think we should, because
he's mentioning it because he's like, maybe I should go.
So there's a nice promotion going on right now, 30% on hotel rooms at Walt Disney World Resort, starting January 5th for a stay most nights through April 18th through July 10th. As always, we cannot recommend highly enough. you use Mouse Fan Travel to book your vacation, especially right now with so many possibilities on what can go wrong. It's good to have a travel agent in your corner. We've been associated with Mouse Fan Travel forever, have used them many times ourselves. Doesn't cost you one dime more, but they take care of so many of the details that can get pretty confusing. So Mouse Fan Travel, recommend them enough. This is not actually intended to be a commercial. I just wanted to talk about the sale they have, but as long as we're talking about it, we should mention that.
And also, you may have many questions right now, and they will have individuals who are more knowledgeable on the way things are operating, what it's like to travel by air, what are some of the differences that you might encounter with your air travel, with your car rental, all of these types of things. Those are, that you will have someone who is able to kind of guide you through that and help you out along the way. Before we go on to the next topic, although you already did, but we'll go back for a moment. No, the drawing on inspiration. These are some decor currently on some of the construction walls at Epcot, and the Instagram account of Morgan Lee Richardson, who had been in Imagineering and had created some of these. He's going through now and sharing some of the thought processes and operations behind the creation of these panels. We've been talking about him a lot because his artwork is also the featured on the Conservation Hero button this year. But as a follower of his Instagram account, I noticed he started talking about the Epcot Spaceship Earth panel that he created and a couple of the other ones that he was involved with. And he's kind of going through that creative process. And we don't often get kind of an inside look on minutia like that. It's simply art on the wall of a construction wall at Epcot. So Instagram is a place for you to find more information on that.
What's his name again?
Richardson.
We should have those pictures up on one of our articles about the Epcot Festival, because that wall area is one of my favorites additions. And here's a close-up look of the button that soon Rebecca will own.
Yay, I'm so thankful. Thank you, Jeremiah, for picking one up for me. I can fit it with my art. It sits in my office.
I've been waiting for them to Disneyfy these buttons, so I'm glad they have mouse ears on the elephant.
It doesn't have mouse ears on the elephant. Stop.
Oh, like it.
No, it doesn't.
It's not at all to you?
No. It does to you.
How about you, Mac? Does it look like mouse ears on the elephant?
Sure. Yeah, I saw mouse ears there, totally.
Way to kiss up to the boss.
Kiss up.
Mac. See big things in your future. Big things.
Doobie's trying to pull up a tweet right now that I suspect came from Jeremiah.
Yeah, we'll get to that one in a moment. Let's go with the good news first.
Oh,
Jeremiah, were you at Epcot today?
I was not. Thankfully, I have friends that are almost always around. This morning, we found out that the walls that yesterday were there have been removed around the Ratatouille area of the France expansion.
The walls came down.
It is letting us get a good view here of the Ratatouille archway. Question for you, Michael Mack. Have you ridden Ratatouille in Paris?
I have not been to Paris, so no, this is going to be a brand new attraction for me.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Ratatouille?
I get excited anytime there's a new attraction. Anytime I get to experience something for the first time, I'm excited about it. I specifically avoid watching videos of rides in other parks to experience it for the first time in person. So I'm excited for it. I don't know if I can say a 10 because there are a lot of other attractions that I'm looking forward to more than this one, but I'm definitely excited for it. Let's go with a 9 to answer your question.
Really?
Wow.
Okay, so let's change the word excitement. How much do you expect to love this attraction?
All right. That's a little bit more difficult to answer. I would say, but 6.5. We'll go with that.
Okay, that seems fair. Jeremiah, what's your score since you have experienced it? How much do you love this attraction?
It's hard for me to actually rate that because I was disappointed the first time I rode it, but then I started to fall in love with the attraction because in Paris it's so cold and the single rider line for this works so well. I never had to wait any time, so I would go get warm on it. But I did very quickly grow a love of this attraction. I would say that I'm probably a 7 of it opening. The overall attraction is probably about a 5, maybe a 4, as far as the just hopefully they plussed it. I mean, that's all I can hope at this point.
How similar is the exterior, the land around the attraction at Epcot, to what exists in France?
If you bring up the article you just had, I think you may have closed it, but
No,
that is the entrance archway. That's the opening of the video.
Okay.
And it looks very similar from what we've seen from the Skyliner, except this is one building, and then they have some buildings to the side of it. Where in Epcot, it looks like it's more of a full courtyard. But this entrance area, from what I've seen riding the Skyliner, is almost identical with the 3 entrances. And the TikTok video that Disney put out not too long ago looked very similar to that.
Rebecca's got your back, Mac. She said, "Don't hit play. You haven't seen it."
I saw that mouse start to hover over the play button. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't you? Mike just told you he hasn't watched it.
I hope I didn't ruin it for you just showing you the entrance like that.
No spoilers.
Do you even know what it's called?
Nah. I've specifically not watched the movie to this point, so I don't spoil it.
That's addition.
There
Right
you
back.
go. There you go. That's right.
I know it's about a rat and patootie.
This is based on the TikTok musical, right?
Yes. Nice.
I'm waiting for that because I'll never forget the time when I was in line for when we got off Pirates of the Caribbean, and the person was talking about how oh wow, they really must have made this quickly because that Pirates of the Caribbean movie didn't come out that long ago, so now I'm waiting for that type
For
of
someone to say the TikTok, that's gonna hurt so much. Yes. Mistake. Jeremiah, is this your tweet here?
the one
Yes.
about Donde Está Donald.
That is impressive.
It was very cute because
then-
where'd he go?
Where is Donald? So why did you?
So Donald, for the past, since before the park actually shut down, they were having problems with Donald. I mean, this audio animatronic predates Walt Disney World because they designed these in the 60s to travel around to sell the idea of Magic Kingdom. So, you're looking at something that's 80 years old. I know that's way off.
The animatronic?
The animatronic was actually built in the 60s.
He's exaggerating.
He's full of me.
Yeah.
Did Panchito shoot him?
Oh, poor Panchito.
But he's been having problems. There have been times where I believe we have one video where he's fallen over and just his feet are moving that we've done. But yeah, they've removed him and put a plant with the sombrero.
Which is like a memorial, right? He's dead.
No, stop. This is terrible.
He's getting ready for the Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
Yeah.
Where they have duck on the menu?
Oh, stop. It's terrible.
It is terrible.
Very, very terrible.
Let's see. Mike Mack, your favorite Disney character?
Whoa. Wow. That's a tough question to answer right off the top like that. Well, so
And I don't mean Marvel either.
Oh, no, you can throw.
that was going to be my question. Does Marvel falls under Disney now? So, come back to me for give me a minute to think about this one.
Mike Celestino would have had an answer for me.
That's because he.
That's a Star Wars answer.
Yeah, that's because
No,
he ridiculous questions from Doobie by now.
here would have been Mike's reaction. He would have, I really like, and then he would say a character, and then it would be contradictory to his wife, and then he'd have to come back and apologize a little later on.
No, it's okay as long as.
Don't tell him my trick question. I'm gonna have that later.
No, you can't.
All right. More construction. Wait, more construction? Yes, more construction at Walt Disney World. Tron, Light Cycle / Run.
Not contradictory to his wife, just for you can't.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Okay.
No spoilers.
Okay, sorry.
Right.
No spoilers.
Jeremiah, You got to see the
Yeah, it looks really impressive. I mean, it's been probably a couple of weeks since I made it over the Magic Kingdom, and the canopy is looking amazing. I mean, if you look at it from there, it is almost complete, other than putting the panels in to seal it up. But speaking of sealing it up,
dun,
Do,
dun,
do,
dun.
do.
oh look, there's no more holes in the building where the track exits and enters.
Yeah.
Right there. That just looks really painful to ride now.
Yeah, it's the Kool-Aid Man ride.
That's funny.
And then you get to watch it reset like every few seconds.
Yeah,
So the bike goes on top of this track or inside the track? How does this work?
on top.
So there presumably does need to be some opening
was.
there. I know there was.
Yeah.
And presumably there will be again.
Yeah, the bottom one, which you can't see because of the crane, it looks like they just put the drywall in and they were sealing it up. But they're going through you can see it there. They're going through the effort of actually putting tiles over the holes right now. So I know that we've heard that we haven't heard that it's opening this year, but we also haven't not heard that it's not opening this year.
Right.
There are way too many negatives there, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Way too many negatives. Mike Mack, favorite Disney character?
Yeah, these are true.
All right. So if you'll allow me to go with a Pixar character, I'll go with Dash from The Incredibles.
Oh, very nice.
Are you particularly fast?
No, but he's a very funny character.
I like him too. Very good.
He is good. All right. So, and then I see People Mover work. What's going on with the People Mover, Jeremiah?
So the original end of the refurbishment was supposed to be this past weekend. Actually, I believe it was supposed to be back up as of yesterday, and now I understand that it is extended through the end of the month. When I was there taking the pictures of the Tron Light Cycle /Run, there were people walking the People Mover track and lifting up the panels and looking in it. So there is some work going on, but just how much we don't know.
We certainly hope it reopens, if for no other reason than to give us that cool view into Space Mountain. And speaking of Space Mountain, if you missed our last episode of Dig a Little Deeper yesterday, we talked about Space Mountain. We started here. We dug a little deeper, which is funny because at Disneyland, it's dug deep into the ground. So Space Mountain. All right, let's get to some fun stuff now. What really counts?
And I think Mike Mack has visited this place.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yes, that's all him now.
Okay.
Mac.
Okay.
Let's I don't know if people can tell, but Mac is quite buffed out. So clearly he takes in some calories to support all that muscle.
Sure.
How is that? You talking about this?
It's so good. I mean, the menu of the donuts, they are ridiculous. If you didn't watch Jeremiah taste the donuts, go back and watch that riveting video.
You guys made him taste.
Oh, on the air, he ate the donut. You didn't see that?
Is that what the edited video is? Like, did somebody pull out that 7 minutes?
I just edited it together. It's just the exciting part of you eating the donut.
Oh, these look amazing. That's an Oreo on top of a donut.
Well, yeah.
So I was a little disappointed the other day. I went to go get the Reese's Nitro, which is a peanut butter cup flavored iced coffee topped with the Reese's donut, but they didn't have the Reese's donut made for that morning. So I had to substitute the Cinnamon Toast Crunch one for it. So it was kind of a weird mix of flavors, but they were both really, really good.
I'm just going to show some.
That's a Cinnamon Toast Crunch one. What's that on top? Is that like a kind of is it a cinnamon cream or
it's
just
a cream cheese with the cinnamon drizzle?
That's insane.
That is the best part of the donut too. It's so good.
That
Drizzle?
right there. That is that pink frosting. I don't know what it is, but I only took one. I took 2 bites of it and then brought it home, and then like throughout the day just would cut off more and more. And
oh, that looks so yummy. Oh,
that's
okay. That's heaven right there.
That's the one I missed out on, unfortunately.
Oh, you're a chocolate peanut butter person too?
Yes, absolutely.
That one is, yeah.
Plain.
So this one is just the blueberry cake donut. And we've all had blueberry cake donuts from different places, and they're usually just like, okay, it's okay. I bought this because I wanted something to go with my strawberry milk, and that one, like cutting into it, yes, strawberry milk, Mike, it is worth it. Don't get the Fruity Pebbles milk, strawberry milk. Um, it is almost like there are full chunks of blueberry in that
Oh,
cake.
wow. Now, the base donut, what is there a donut place you would compare the base donut to? Because, there's different kinds of donuts. There's yeast donuts, there's cake donuts, so, your Krispy Kreme donut is a very different donut than your Dunkin' donut. So which one are these more similar to, or do they offer both types?
Yeah, they have both. So like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch one is a yeast donut, and then like Jeremiah said, that blueberry one is a cake donut. As far as comparing it, if I can mention a place just down the road, Voodoo Donuts over at City Walk at Universal Orlando is probably the closest thing in terms of the ridiculousness of the donuts as well as the donut itself.
Now, have you had Voodoo Donuts? Because I have. We went to Universal Orlando in October, and we got a pack of the Voodoo Donuts. How do you compare these, like ranking wise? Would you Everglazed over Voodoo? Which would you lean towards?
So I will say, if you're going to take price into the factor there, Voodoo is exceptionally less expensive than Everglazed is, but I do prefer the Everglazed donut.
Okay, because I'll be honest, I was really disappointed with Voodoo Donuts. For me, I didn't feel the kind of the up price from a standard donut that I get at Krispy Kreme or whatever was really that worth it, because I didn't care for the base donut that they have. The cookie donuts on it were really good. Like we had one that was like a grape or whatever, and I mean the flavor really good, but then just the donut itself, I was kind of like So I was disappointed in that way. So I'm excited by these because, sorry, that's my phone. I was excited by these because they look like the whole thing. It looks like I could, make sure that I eat all of it and it'll be yummy, yummy. So
yeah,
Fast and Furious the ride was fun. I'm sorry, but I had a good time on that. I did. I had a really fun time. I wouldn't wait 90 minutes for it, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Everglazed, I will between Everglazed and Gideon's had some good cookies, but Everglazed would definitely be a place that if I'm down there, I mean, I haven't tried their burgers. Have you tried anything other than the donuts yet, Mac?
I had a breakfast sandwich. I haven't gone for lunch. So I haven't had the burger or anything like that. But the breakfast sandwich was a bacon, egg, and cheese on a griddled donut, which was unbelievable.
I'm with you.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Very excited for Everglazed. Because Voodoo, I liked Voodoo. I like fancy donuts anywhere. So I'm excited to have this option at Disney, as well as the fact that my son opened a Sweets Place on the other side. So for those who don't know, Everglazed is located right next to Splitsville, right next to the AMC Theater where the former Pop Art was. And unlike Gideon's on its opening day, you could just walk up and get a donut. There was no 3-hour wait or virtual return or any of that fun stuff.
But now there is.
Oh, well.
Now they do have a virtual queue. I was there the other day and I walked up and they said it was about 50 minutes. But unlike Gideon's, where I think theirs is always a 3-hour wait, I've heard, and I don't know if you have experienced this, Mac, but it seems that they can push people through Everglazed a lot quicker than Gideon's.
It's also West Side, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't gotten into Gideon's at Springs yet, so I'm not sure what that is like in there. But yeah, it did seem like it moved pretty quickly once you're in Everglazed. Also, I was there. They open at 9 as opposed to the rest of Disney Springs opening at 10. So if you were there that early in the morning, I went in and I waited maybe 10 minutes.
Because that was one of the joys of the Disney Quest. They had that eatery in there, and you could go and you could get little snacks there and stuff. And because it was West Side, there wouldn't ever. You could still, even when you had to wait for that special elevator.
The hydrolator?
No.
Velociraptor? No.
No. I don't remember what it was called now. But
Ventureport.
Yeah, even when you had to travel to the Ventureport, you could still, manage better because there weren't a lot of people at the.
And there's pretty good food up there.
Yeah.
And also Splitsville. I mean, Everglazed is owned by the Splitsville people, Jeremiah,
Which were big.
Correct.
which we are.
And
Splitsville.
across from Everglazed is where Splitsville is opening a new bar area, which devastated Doobie because he may not get to watch the hardest working pin setters in the world again.
It was very fun. I mean, maybe not as much now since Gideon's no longer like 2, but back in the day, I could just stand there for a long time and just let him sit there and watch the pins. He probably would get a little more bored now.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
Not by much, but a little bit more.
They
Important.
grow up.
I love Splitsville. I love it in Anaheim too. Both locations, I have found the service to be quite hospitable, which is part of what's important to me when I go out to eat is I like to feel welcome and
It's almost like your family.
Yeah, I like that environment, and that's how both the locations have treated me when we've been there. So that's what I'll speak. And their margaritas are good.
How's M&M World coming along?
M&M, hard for Jimmy to say. M&M.
The M&M store.
Yes.
Apparently.
There we go. So this was, I believe, the same day as I did.
Fun fact.
Yes. Oh, it's Kidder. She does the good fun facts.
We don't know.
Yeah. Kidder, are you male, female?
No.
We don't want
You don't have to say.
We'll drop whichever
So
one.
This was the same day I was doing the walk and talk. And then pretty much the next day, they had put more structure up on it. They also have a screen that's going to do projection, or not projections, but one of those video screens. There's what the front of it's going to look like, a giant yellow M&M. And then we're hearing that this could be open as early as next week or the following week.
Exciting. So you can bowl, watch a movie, gorge on M&Ms, and wash it down with donuts, all in one little corner.
Now is the M&M store still at Florida Mall, or is that one no longer there? Do either of you know? Because I haven't looked.
I believe that location closed. I'm not certain. I haven't been there in a while, but I remember hearing that it closed.
Because
Go ahead,
when
I was there last month, it was all closed up because it was such an interactive area. And I have heard that the M&M store at Disney Springs will have a lot of the interactive stuff brought over, but none of it will be functioning when the shop does open.
Oh, it does say in our write-up, which apparently I need to read more carefully, that this is also a relocation of the current M&M World at Florida Mall, which opened in 2005.
100 tubes with M&Ms for guests to pick out the colors and types they want.
And you can also personalize them. You can, if you're having a birthday party, you can get like a special message on them and that type of thing. Those are some of the fun things that you can do at the M&M.
All of mine are personalized because my lessons mostly.
Yes, they're all personalized.
Default shop.
But
hey, Mike Mack, it's literally mine.
There you go. But this makes me wonder because long time ago we went to the Florida Mall, M&M's World, so we could meet.
Elliot Sadler.
No, yes, okay, Elliot Sadler, but then Kyle Busch when Gideon got old enough to care about NASCAR. We went there.
Oh, he met there, but you went and met Elliot Sadler.
I went and met Elliot Sadler way back there.
Get this on Gideon.
But I took my son to meet Kyle Busch there, and we got the autograph on the M&M car and stuff. And so
they sponsor a car.
It's one of those things where now I wonder if because they have races in Miami, Homestead, and they have races in Daytona. So I wonder if we'll see Kyle Busch now making appearances at Disney Springs at the M&M store. That'd be cool.
Not only a major blow, but I bet that train's just going to fly right by there. So Florida Mall, your days are numbered. Mike Mack, I have a question for you before we get to our main Disneyland resort thing. So what are you? You're probably in your mid-20s?
No, I'm 30.
Okay. In the history of your 30 years, which calendar year would you say is the most memorable?
And why?
No, you don't have to answer why.
Give an answer why.
Which one is the most memorable? I mean, it's hard not to say 2020.
What happened then? Okay, not necessarily in a negative way. How about which one's your favorite?
Oh, wow.
He's setting you up, Mike.
No, I'm not.
Be careful.
It's a fair question.
Off the top of my head, I'll say 2008.
Why?
That would be when I started college and the same year that the MCU launched. So,
Oh, there you go. Good answer.
You gave
good
a
answer.
very Mike Celestino answer. He said, was it 1999?
I wasn't here.
It was 99.
Yeah, because I think he said it was his sophomore year. He had finished his freshman year of college. And what was the movie? There was some movie that came out. I don't remember what it was.
I think it was.
that would be episode 1, wasn't it?
But that wasn't one. It was a different one. But then he quickly remembered, I should have said the year either I met my wife or I got married.
Yeah, 2008 was also the year I met my wife. So.
Oh!
Of course, he left that out of the details.
Well, I started college and we met the first year of college. So there you go.
Okay.
Mike Mack avoids the trap laid
Mike
by
Mack.
when
Mike
Jimmy
Celestino.
Mosley. But Nick Morgan very quickly points out the truth that Mac is clearly 2 decades younger than Doobie.
I am 49 and proud.
He turns 50 in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's fun around here.
so today is January 11th, 2021, which means 20 years ago when Mac was barely out of diapers, we were
So
he was a late bloomer. We were
what were we doing?
we were probably trying to get some sleep because the next day Downtown Disney was going to open.
We had Downtown Disney fun happening.
Which, after waiting for the Disneyland Resort to go through its metamorphosis for all of these years, this was the first aspect to open before the hotel, before the park itself, which opened in February. Downtown Disney was going to have its official opening, its grand opening.
And it opened with a charity event, and those often feature a lot of over the top food displays and entertainment. There was a red carpet of celebrities. Sylvester Stallone was there. That's
Chris
when
Berman.
I realized that he wasn't very tall.
Yes.
That was the first. Yeah. Chris Berman was there. I'm trying to think who else.
Sister.
Oh yeah, one of the
Tia or Tamara.
Yeah, I don't remember which one. They were there.
The charity event was Paul Michael Glazer from Starsky and Hutch, so he was there.
So it was for the Pediatric AIDS Foundation.
He was Hutch, right?
That his wife founded. What?
He was Hutch?
I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
He was the dark-haired one. He was
Do you
either
remember-
Hall or Oates. I'm not sure which one.
And then and then one of the things that I remembered from it was that the ESPN zone was turned into kind of like a Willy Wonka world, and they had the movie playing on video screens all throughout the location, and they had those enormous baker sacks of sugar. So I want to say they're like 25-pound bags, but I'm probably exaggerating. But they had these lollipops, like the beautiful lollipops that are enormous, just shoved in there, and then piles of candy everywhere. And people were just walking up, grabbing random
candy.
loads of candy. It was so bizarre. It was really fascinating.
It was awesome.
And then they had this firework. Eisner spoke, and they had this fireworks display.
Yeah, Uriba girls.
Oh yeah, and then they brought out all the entertainment in that zone. So you stood there in that center courtyard between what at the time was Uriba, House of Blues, and the Jazz Kitchen, and they had performing troops from each one come and give you a little taste of the entertainment that you would find inside their locations. It was a really fun evening.
It was a fun event, all for charity.
So much variety. And then when they opened the AMC theater, they had actual that character Clip that you always see in the pre-show. He was actually there, a legitimate walk around Clip from AMC. I didn't know he existed. So it was, a fun night for Downtown Disney.
Do you have any particular Downtown Disney memories, Jeremiah? As we look back on 20 years.
We're getting ready to wrap up. I don't want to keep.
My Downtown Disney memory is definitely the just before the park opened, before DCA opened, was going down, and they were selling a certain pin at only World of Disney the day before, and it was a carousel pin, and I bought it there, and then I drove home, and then I decided to drive back because everybody was sleeping over in the parking lot, and I did that. That's a whole other story that you guys can make fun of me for later on.
I'll make fun of you now. Mac, have you even been to Downtown Disney?
One time, yes.
How do you, as a person who has mostly been to Downtown Disney Springs type thing, how did you find it, compare it? What was your feeling, kind of the difference between them?
It was easier not to get lost. That's for sure. Even though it was my only time being there. But I also really like the fact that the parks are right there. So it's sort of that hub as opposed to Disney Springs being its own destination. So I enjoyed that.
Very cool. Yeah, no, he's totally right. It has a very different feel. It just feels like an extension in some ways of the parks. And the nice thing is it's a place where you can go catch your breath, right? You can be at the parks, and then you can go there, take a nice long lunch, kind of get, a little bit of space in the midst of all the chaos of a theme park visit, and then step right back into it. And Disney World, you always have to invest. If you want to leave that kind of theme park chaos, you have to really invest because it takes time to get in and out.
Yeah, for sure.
So, all right.
Any other big news that you wanted to share?
Nah, I think we're good.
Yeah, me too. I think we did a
cool. Well, thank you. Thank you for Jeremiah for changing into your Potato Land shirt.
Dude, with that shirt on, everybody, I started singing in my head. Nothing.
What is Potato Land?
It's from the Mickey Mouse short series that is now.
Yeah, you need to watch it. That is probably one of the most entertaining of the Mickey shorts.
He's seen it. He just doesn't remember.
I don't watch cartoons. All right, and thank you, Mac, for filling in at the last moment.
Thanks for having me.
Keep our Michael quota here. It was fun to have you. Congratulations on getting the great answer with the best year of your life. And thank you, honey, Rebecca, for being here. It's always an hour sitting next to you.
I know, it's nice.
My favorite
I have to go back to work now.
We're done.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Wait, hold on. Let me make sure this isn't important.